Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne, and I'm back to do the October 2016 astrological forecast for you guys. I just started this series. I started in September. That was the first month I decided to do my interpretation of the astrological forecast for the month, and this is for all signs, for everyone. This kind of takes into account the general energies, but also I do analyze by what's going on with the planets, and I also lay out a card for each day specifically, so I'm able to kind of gauge to see, okay, what days are going to be best during the month. So October is a long month, and I know I'm getting these out on October 3rd, October 4th, but you know, I really wanted to get these out anyways. I know we've missed a couple days. Same with September. The thing is that I like to record prior to doing the recording these, because I like to verify in my readings what I see. And actually, I did predict that the beginning of October was going to be all about fall weddings, and I did read in some of my horoscopes that there was going to be a focus on weddings the beginning of October for a lot of people. So it does match up. So I am going to be going through specific dates, and yeah, there's just a lot to go through, so I'm just going to jump in. So like I said, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are really all about, I pulled the Hermit, and then I followed by the Lovers. So it's all about relationship focus and needing to go out. Some of you, maybe rather than staying in, that's the energy. Getting out there, being social, hanging out with friends, going to maybe some parties, wine tastings, whatever it is. There's a very social, in the beginning of October, very social vibe, okay? October 2nd, the moon goes into Scorpio. So, this is the weekend. So again, I'm recording this on Monday, the 3rd. And, there may be some element of the rude awakening when you're watching this, because the moon in Scorpio on Sunday can make you overeat and overdrink and either feel like you want to, sit in your corner quietly and read, or, stalk people on Instagram or stay up all night partying. So, you may be watching this on October 3rd and going, I'm really hungover, or, I overdid it this weekend, or, you're really tired, on Monday, because of it. This is like, I would say, by the 4th, October 4th, you've probably, officially broken up with your boyfriend or girlfriend that you got in a fight with over the weekend, or you haven't heard back from after like 5 million texts. The moon is still in Scorpio, and so this is all about being a little bit disconnected on, by October 4th, and needing alone time, or some of you are just kind of living the dream, okay? For October 3rd, I pulled the Page of Swords, which is all about being helped out by friends and family. This is also the separation, so some of you may be legally separating from a partner, and or breaking up with someone on this day specifically. And I feel like by October 4th, I feel like your ass might be really dragging. There's something about between like this, like almost like a hangover. Like by the time October 4th comes, you just may be really tired. So make sure you take enough time out to rest, to recover, to, treat yourself to, full 8 hours of sleep, to make sure you're, eating good food, and, taking enough rest if you need it. October 4th is an interesting day. I pulled the 4 of Cups. So the number 44 is a spiritual number. So I feel like whatever happens on October 4th is meant to happen. There's strong spiritual vibe for October 4th. And I do feel like overall October 4th, there's something very special about that day. Now let's talk about, okay, so by October 6th, there's something about getting your wish or making a wish with either love or money, or feeling like getting your wish, feeling like you're more supported, or there's something happening that's very positive between the 4th and the 6th, but specifically on the 6th, there's something about getting your wish. So if there was like a lucky day, where you're wishing on something, where something's going to come to you, this is, and I'm getting a tingle on this. It's very interesting, happening on the 6th, October 6th. So the moon is in Capricorn October 7th. Mercury goes into Libra at 3:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just like we are back online. This is great for communications. We've got power. Like, the energy is just like we're back and we're on, because Libra is really, it's an air sign. So it's all about communication, and Mercury is too. So don't be surprised if like on October 7th, you wake up and your, email box is like overflowing, or if you have clients, or if you're in your own business, where business starts to pick up on this day. I feel strongly about that. For the October 7th specifically, I pulled the 5 of Cups, which is, to me about, I feel like for some of you, it's about taking a break leading to a break up. And this is also waiting for your ship to come in, wanting things to happen immediately. There is going to be some element of magic, and there is some element of surprise. Okay. I also pulled the 3 of Pentacles, the Tower, and the 9 of Wands, which is wanting things to improve, financial or otherwise. That was my vibe. So I feel like there's a strong financial vibe for October 7th as well. Like I said, I feel like ultimately October 7th is going to be a great day for business, for things to pick up, for things to improve. Relationship-wise, I feel like if you had an argument or fight on October 3rd or 4th, and maybe you decided to take a little break, I feel like you're going to actually second guess it and be like, well, I think maybe we should just really break up. By October 7th, you're like, maybe we should really just break up and call it. October 8th, I want to say October 8th through the 10th, there's some kind of imbalance. You got the 10 of Wands, okay, for those days. I think I pulled the 10 of Wands on the 8th specifically, but I do feel like the 8th, 9th, and 10th, there's a lot of burdens that you're dealing with, a lot of things on your plate. Maybe you're dealing with your own financial stress. Some of you, it's too many mouths to feed, or having too many responsibilities, or just kind of feeling overwhelmed. This is, the 10 of Wands to me is the Libra card, and it is, in some cases, a physical breakdown or an emotional breakdown. I feel like for most of you, it's going to be more an emotional breakdown, or just feeling like so overwhelmed by things that you don't know how to process it. Like your internal processing system is off, okay? So make sure that you're paying attention to where your head is at, and this would be a good day for exercise, strong exercise days, 8th, 9th, and 10th, to kind of work through things in your head. This is maybe a great day to call a friend, these days to call a friend. And I would avoid talking to family these days, because they may frustrate you. There's an element, I feel, of doing it alone, or having to do it yourself, and not feeling like other people are wanting to help, or other people are judging you, or other people don't understand, because that's where people can have that emotional breakdown, because they feel like people don't understand. So Aquarius especially, I would say Aquarius especially 8th, 9th, and 10th, okay? And on the 9th, I did pull the Justice card, which kind of is, I said it puts the B in balance, okay? And things kind of needing to level out as they should karmically, okay? So this is a strong karmic day. Again, 8th, 9th, and 10th, there's a strong feeling about these days where what's out of balance with the 10 of Wands, the universe is trying to write either on the 9th, and then by the 10th, things may be either things go completely to shit by the 10th, or things get better, okay? I hate to say that, but I feel like balance is really needed. Balance in finances, what you're spending on these days specifically. There's also, I got a strong single mom vibe, and I got a strong single working girl vibe. So if you are a single female, I feel like this is specifically regarding what's going on with you, and you may want to try to look for a job, like a second job, or like I said, talk to a friend, or, go for a run, or do something for yourself that's going to kind of lighten your mood and lighten the load. Make it easier on yourself, essentially. This is concern about not having enough money for bills on these days. I feel like by October 10th, though, the moon goes into Aquarius, which will feel like a sense of relief. Because originally when I was, kind of vibing out October, I did feel on some level that even though October overall I feel like going to be a great month, I did feel that because now, in the northern, it depends on where you live, but in the northern hemisphere, October is fall, okay? And fall to me is a time of increasing darkness, okay? And because we're starting off the beginning of the month with moon in Scorpio, it kind of makes it like very heavy, intense energy, okay? So as I feel like October progresses by the 10th, the moon in Aquarius is going to be like all of a sudden like a breath of fresh air, literally, like, and people always say Aquariuses are like that because it literally will feel like a breath of fresh air, like even though amidst all this kind of almost like waning energy or increasing dark energy, there's this lightness to the month that's kind of happening on the 10th. So October 10th, you also got the Fool card, which is about starting over, doing something new. This can be starting fresh in relationships, or starting fresh in a job, or starting something. It's like a new beginning. And the Fool is all about not being afraid to start fresh. So some of you by the time the 10th comes around, you're not afraid of taking a step forward. You're not afraid to call up somebody and say, hey, I'm interested in that job. When can I start? You're not afraid. There's no fear there, which I like, because I feel like the Scorpio energy and the fall energy is heavy. It's kind of heavy and it's intense. So I feel like the October 10th will be really good. It's also a good day for travel for those of you going on a short trip or making travel plans. I feel like October 10th is a great day. October 11th, I pulled the 8 of Cups, which is about moving on or moving away from hard times, troubles with money. So anything that's kind of happening between, I want to say, October 7th and October 10th, where you're feeling like, oh my God, like, how am I going to pay for these bills? I feel like by the 11th, something is going to break. There's going to be kind of like something that happens where you're not as worried by the 11th. I just want to say, so if you go through this little intense little blip, time, the 8th, 9th, 10th, by the 10th, like I said, even the 7th, okay, so 7th, 8th, 9th, I'll say, by the 10th, things will have improved, okay, so just like a couple days, I feel that will be kind of intense. You got the Knight of Wands on October 12th, which is about bumping into someone, or this can be, meeting someone that you're, unexpected. It's interesting because I took notes on things before I actually recorded my videos. So to me, it's reflecting the element of surprise and or bumping into somebody that seeing somebody maybe at the grocery store or at a coffee shop, or like when you're out around running errands and you're not expecting it. This could be friends, this could be family, this could be relationship related. It's going to depend on each person. Because it's a Cups card, it probably most likely is... because it's a Wands card, it's most likely going to be someone with some fire in their chart. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. It also could be you that you're going to, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries that's going to bump into someone. They could be any sign. Now, some of you're going to be driving too fast, and this is a day you need to be really pay attention to where you're going, Leo especially, because this is where you can land in the hospital because you're just not paying attention. You need to pay attention on October 12th, okay? It's super important. So, sorry I had to pause my tablet for a minute. On October 12th, I pulled the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is all about bumping into someone. It can also be seeing someone, looking at somebody from a distance. There is the element of distance. There's an element of travel here. And this is also about driving too fast and not paying attention to where you're going. It is followed by the Four of Swords. On October 13th, I pulled the Four of Swords. So to me, this is about an accident. Some of you, not all of you, are going to be getting into an accident because you're not paying attention to where you're going. You're texting and driving. You're just, your mind is not focused on the road. So if you get on the road, make sure you focus on where you're going, make sure you're looking ahead, and make sure you're looking at other people, because other people may, this is, as we get closer to October 16th, which is the blood moon, it's a full moon, the energy increases in intensity. And I feel like it's very possible that on the October 12th, there's going to be either a major car accident, which is going to be all over the news, or that you're involved in, or it's just going to be on the news and you're going to see it. Because to me, to have the Knight of Wands who's not paying attention, followed by the Four of Swords, it's landing in a hospital, or somebody's landing in the hospital because of something that has happened. Now, I do feel that October 12th through 16th are days. October 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th are going to be seriously intense days. This is where you're going to see, most likely on the TV, where there's going to be unrest and outbreaks of conflict, fighting. I don't even like to put it out there, but I definitely see that. And I also see like there's going to be things regarding to religious beliefs. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I feel like this is specifically on October 16th. This is a blood moon. This is full moon in Aries, and Aries is the war chief. So people are going to be, feeling very prone to conflict and arguments on these days, and wanting to lash out or wanting to get into, heated debates about things. Specifically, those of you who are very religious, you may have more sensitivities, and you may be more prone to being to getting into some kind of conflict, okay? For those of you who don't want to buy into this kind of unrest and intensity and this conflict and this war kind of energy, you may just want to take those days and just try to meditate and try to pray for peace and get together in groups and do prayer, seriously, literally pray for peace on those days. I feel like it's super important. Let's go back to October 13th, because you got the Four of Swords. This is all about needing to take a rest, taking some R&R time. Some of you getting the cold or flu, or coming down with something. For those of you who are in good health, it is important to make sure that you're, taking your vitamins and taking care of yourself, and making sure you're getting enough sleep and making sure you're eating right. You may just want to take some extra vitamins on that day, specifically to boost your immune system. I feel like as we get closer to the blood moon, just before that time, people are just going to be feeling irritable. They may be, like I said, staying up too late, overdoing it. Because to me, Aries, that Aries, that fire energy is all about overkill. It's literally about doing things too much, okay? So in a way, it's reflecting the beginning of the month, which is, to me, the moon is Scorpio. On the October 2nd and 3rd, it just feels like it's almost reflecting that. So it's almost like whatever happened on October 2nd or 3rd, either it's gonna you're gonna come to a place where you of peace with it, literally, or you're gonna be very upset by it. There's gonna be some like reaction. It's like cause and effect. So I want you to try to remember to look back on maybe October 2nd, 3rd, or even 4th, and be like, okay, what was it that was happening at that time, and how can I not engage in a negative way, or how can I respond in a positive emotional way, okay? This is also, okay, so full moon in Aries is also about a time of shedding the old and beginning new, okay? For spiritual people, this is about making a wish, because your wish is going to come true on or by the following blood moon, okay? So this is for those of you who do that kind of thing or believe in that kind of thing. This is where, you can write it down on a piece of paper, what your wish is, and I would probably suggest, because it's a blood moon, I would write it in red, or I would put it in like a red envelope, or anything that's red, you know, keep it in a red, you know, like I'm looking down, it's so funny, there's all this red I'm looking at, like on my quilt there's like a red square in my quilt, you know, put it where there's something red, okay? It will help kind of increase the energy and the fruition there. Okay, so moving on. Your best financial days are really good money days are actually October 14th and 15th, because we got the Magician and the 10 of Cups. So there is this element of work and play, needing to have work and play balance. And I feel like also you might actually have the hots for somebody at work or someone you meet on that day. You know, this is having the strong hots for somebody, okay? That's the 10 of Cups. But I do feel like the 14th through the 18th are amazing financial days, okay? So write that down, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. However, because we have all this conflict and unrest, there's a lot going on at that time. So you want to be careful of not overspending at that time. But I do feel like if there's some good fortunate days, I feel like those are it. On October 18th, Venus moves into Sagittarius. So this is where things kind of get hot and heavy. The energy is really positive for you know, anything that's happening between the sheets, anything that's happening in romance or dating. Again, having the hots for somebody came up because I think I pulled on the 15th, the 10 of Cups, and on the 18th, that's when Venus goes into Sagittarius. So anytime around the time, again, you know, the fire sign energy is very strong. On the positive side, it's a sexy time. On the negative side, there's almost too much intensity and it's too much conflict. This is like makeup sex too. Like this is, you know, having an argument and then followed by, you know, getting it on. So, October 17th, you got the 10 of Pentacles. And this is plus the Queen of Pentacles on the 18th. So this is like inheritance, money. This is like, you know, winning, you know, some kind of jackpot. This is like, you know, I don't know, some of you are gamblers. I mean, I feel like, you know, I don't want to be too specific because I could get myself into trouble there. I just want to say that these are positive financial days. Okay, so you got the 10 of Pentacles on the 17th, October 17th. That is a very strong day. And I did pull the Queen of Pentacles on October 18th. So whatever is happening on the 17th and 18th, it's very good for you financially. Okay, this could be positive business deal. This could be, like I said, a new job. This is something where there is money, more money than you know what to do with, and you appreciate it. So there's money, but there's also an appreciation for the money, because Queen of Pentacles is someone who, she knows how to use it. She knows how to manage it, and she appreciates it because she knows that real abundance is a mindset. It's nothing to do with actual finance. So, so this is very strong, specifically for anybody who has any kind of earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I do feel that. I do feel October 19th is going to be kind of a low point because you got the 3 of Swords on that day. So it's almost like positive financial days and then followed by this weird period of like low. It's almost like a lull. You know, it's like a calm after the storm for some people, but it's also a low point. You know, for those of you who, you know, are going through a breakup or divorce. We're getting, again, this is like getting into the argument around the 16th, 17th, and then by the 19th, you're not over it. You're hurt by what happened on those days, okay? You're still feeling like the pain in some way. This is also, I wrote down feeling hurt by a fire sign male or earth sign female, or this can be... I said losing one or both people, the Queen of Pentacles and or the the King of Wands. So to me, there's a strong element of like loss here pertaining to parents or pertaining to older figures. You know, when I say older, people that are older than me, I'm 34. So there's an element regarding your parents, you know, that you may just be hurt by something that somebody says, but some of you may be losing a parent or both parents, or someone that's an older mother figure, father figure to you around that time. This could be a grandparent too. It doesn't have to be just like, you know, mother, father. But I feel like a very strong mother, father, because the Queen and the King show up together, and to me it's like a couple. October 20th and 21st, I feel like it's kind of a break. Okay, so to me, the energy is kind of intense, has been very intense, especially the middle, like I said, right around the time of the blood moon. So by the October 20th and 21st, it's just kind of like a break where it's just like, it's a great day to do yard work, to cook, to clean, to do laundry, to stay home, cuddle, I said if you do go out, wear a raincoat, take an umbrella, safety kit, and some rain boots and a flashlight, because there may be some storms on this day. I got the 21st, the temperance card, which is the perfect storm. So there may be an actual, storm that's happening, and the moon is going to be in Cancer. I believe at that time, I have to double check that, but I believe the moon is in Cancer on or around the 21st. So I do feel like that it's heavy water, a lot of water, a lot of rain. This could be flooding in some locations. So just kind of plan ahead for that, especially if you live in an area where, like, flood zone areas, okay? Some areas of Texas specifically, I want to say, also Louisiana, I just feel like if you live in a flood zone, I'm not getting any others, but if you live in a flood zone, make sure you're taking safety precautions, make sure, you're watching the weather reports, etc. And I do feel like Florida also. Florida's, I feel like, potentially going to get hit around that time. It could be Florida or it could be one of the others, but I just feel like wherever, I just feel like there's a storm too that's gonna hit around that time. The sun enters Scorpio on October 22nd, and I pulled the 9 of Cups on October 22nd, so there may be some issues around love triangles. It's very interesting because it's a Cups card, so it's reflecting what's happening with the sun at that time. It's just going to be brought to the forefront. Obviously, if you're not involved in any kind of love triangle, this wouldn't affect you. I wrote October 24th is what I call like a blackout date. So it's a very heavy, intense energy. Mercury is in Scorpio, the sun is in Scorpio. It is potentially going to be heavy for October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. You also got the 7 of Swords on October 23rd. And and it's tying together with this King of Pentacles. So it could be something to do with some of you, like having to deal with someone who's not wanting to pay child support. If you are single, you are living under a rock, and at this time you need to go look for Mr. Right, and you need to climb out of the rock in order to meet him. I do seeing that. I do feel like it's also about having flashbacks of the past, or like any issues that came up during this very Scorpionic time where Saturn was in Scorpio, where Mars was in Scorpio earlier in this year. To me, this is something to do with having like reflecting on this time, like what was happening. You may actually, because the Mercury is in Scorpio, because the sun is in Scorpio, you may feel like you're going through what you went through at that time. For me personally, I was moving at that time, and I am going to be moving again. So to me, that's a cyclical thing. For some of you, it's going to be a job change. Maybe it's not a move. Some of you, it's a move. Some of you, maybe a job change. But because it's Scorpion energy, it's about transformation. It's about change. So maybe some changes that you're going through during this period. And it may not be as intense for some people, but it may be more intense for others. It depends on if you made the changes during that time, and if you can sort of put into perspective that even though it's a cycle, even though it's a pattern, there is something else to be learned from it, and all things that cycle back are things that you still have an opportunity to learn from. Because it's like the universe giving you another chance to learn what you didn't learn the first time. That's kind of how I see it. On October 26th, you got the Chariot, which is success in all things. So it's a very strong day for success, very positive. On the 28th, you got the Six of Pentacles, which is really very strongly cautioning you to watch your finances, okay? On October 26th and 27th, the moon is in Virgo. Moon in Virgo is great for getting so much things done. I love Moon in Virgo because it just feels like I can I can do it all on that day. I always say I can clean my house and do my laundry, and I mean, go out and go shopping and get all my groceries. I can do it all on a Moon and Virgo day. So this is a great, also for road trips, garage sales, doctor's appointments. This is a day for getting shit done. October 26th and 27th. Okay, running errands, activities. I always say meeting new friends, but meeting up with friends, but. Make sure you're watching your finances. You're not overdoing it on your shopping trip. You're not overdoing it on your doctor's appointments, and you're not overdoing like the activity. Make sure you're taking enough rest. Make sure you're eating too. And there's something about success in the time of Scorpio. So by the 28th, I also pulled, I think, the Chariot and the Death card. And I think, okay, so I pulled the Chariot, I see on the 26th, and then there's something about I pulled a second card. I think that's what I did. And I wrote success in the new. So something about transformation or just success in the time of Scorpio. So that means something positive is going to come out of this thing that's happening all over again. This cycle that you're going through again. This transformation that you're going through again, because whatever you've been through for the last 3 or 4 years, you're in this process of transformation. In Scorpio, the transformation is complete. So some of you, again, it's almost like completing new things, but completing maybe a long cycle or a long period of time where you've been going through, harder energy or difficult times of transition and change. Okay. I pulled on the October 29th, the Six of Cups, which is focusing on kids, getting gas and groceries. It's needing to be more minded and have some hope. This is also focusing on your kids or focusing on family. On October 30th, I pulled the Ten of Swords. It's a card about exhaustion. I wrote, perhaps from all those handmade Halloween costumes, making all these your own Halloween costumes. But it's also about feeling unloved and unsupported. I do feel like by Halloween, there's the Wheel of Fortune came up on Halloween. So this is like a change in health for the better if you've been sick. This is also the I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is all about change through positive by your choices specifically, but it's also, I was going to say, change in fortune for the better also. Okay, some of you, I don't know why I wrote this. There may be some delay in changing fortune, or if you make, it depends on your choices. So if you exercise your free will and you make good choices, then things are going to turn out for the best. If you hold off and you're like, no, I don't want things to change, and you're resistant, then your fortune, there will be a delay in your fortunes changing. That's kind of how I see it. The moon is in Scorpio on Halloween too. So October 31st is going to be very interesting. This is going to be an overeating, chocolate, over drinking, beer, and alcohol. Expect a lot of intense events happening, because Scorpio is a very intense sign. And especially during the 29th, 30th, and 31st, there may be OCD tendencies, control issues, arguments, because of control issues with controlling things. Try to keep your bedtime straight. Try to limit your conversations, and try not to go out all night 3 nights in a row. That's what I wrote. I wrote avoid the ER if possible, because that to me equals a nightmare. Okay. I did pull for November 1st, the moon is in Sagittarius. So November is going to start with a really positive outlook, with a bang. I wrote with a bang. Even though there may be concerns about money, this is all about the energy is all about moving forward and not looking back. That is what I wrote. I do feel like Halloween's going to be an interesting time, because the moon is in Scorpio, and The sun is also in Scorpio and Mercury is in Scorpio. The energy is intense. So just be safe. You know, make sure you're being safe. Make sure you're making safe choices, wise choices. Careful, like I said, of not overdoing it. But I feel like it's going to be an interesting Halloween for sure. So, and a very interesting month. You know, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how it turns out for you. And I will be back again for November doing another astrological forecast. Definitely give me a thumbs up. Definitely click on the subscribe button if you haven't. And check out my other videos because I always do monthly horoscopes, monthly tarot horoscopes. So, and of course, if you'd like a private reading, feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. I'd love to get you scheduled. So, yeah, that's it. I'm going to send you guys big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.